Hi there, I'm Beth, and today I'll be showing you my process of making this lovely dress. It's being modelled by my beautiful Lady Panacea Blythe doll. Again, I do hope you're not sick of seeing her. I actually started making this dress as a test run for the goth wedding dress back in July, and I've held on to the footage until now. I wanted to make a pretty Regency styled gown that feels a little magical and ethereal. I won't go through every step as the construction was fairly straightforward for what it is. I did really enjoy the fabric colours and types that I selected for it though. I'm combining peachy pinks and muted blues with ivory lace and lots of little sparkly beads. The underbodice is made from cotton with a sheer patterned pink layer on top. I use a facing piece to make the collar and back opening. I tack stitch the sheer layer in place before trimming it to match the cotton bodice. I've sewn lace cuffs to short, sheer, gathered sleeves, and I top stitched the lace to lay flat. Set in the sleeves in place by hand. I'll add long gathering stitches to the waistline to cinch it in. I tie them off once they're drawn in to the size that I want. The underskirt is a simple rectangle shape made from a silky peach fabric that I attach a lace trim to. add the same type of gathering stitches to the waistline and press them with the iron. I also fold over the edges that'll become the back opening. I now join the bodice and underskirt together. Next, I assemble an overskirt from the same fabric as the bodice and sleeves. It's so pretty and it has butterflies on it. It's made from two pieces. The back centre opening has a facing piece and the back is much longer, mimicking Lady Panacea's stock outfit. I go back to the underskirt, closing the back centre seam, and then I try out the overskirt in place. I hand stitched this to the waistline and then added a section of blue ornate trim over the top. I need to finish off the hem of the outer skirt somehow, but I wasn't sure how. I decided to try out a zigzag stitch over the raw edge along with a piece of embroidery thread. This worked really well and stabilised the edge without adding too much bulk. There were a few threads sticking out which I later very carefully singed away with a candle flame. Next, I'll sew the collar using gathered lace under some matching ornate trim. I add a snap fastening to the collar, but I'll use beaded buttons for the rest of the closure. Next, I hand stitch pink and blue beads to the dress. I've sewn them to the waistband, the cuffs, and scattered them all around the lower third or so of the rest of the skirt. Finally, I've sewn on the beads that I'll use as buttons, and now I'll use a new technique I've picked up to create the knotted button loops. I'm splitting a piece of embroidery thread using just 2 of the 6 threads. I anchor the thread with a knot, then needle up from the inside, leaving a long loop as I needle down again, then needle up again in almost the same spot, still holding on to the long loop. I put the needle down and then begin to loop and knot the threads. I think it's easier just to watch and mimic than to explain, so I do hope it's fairly clear here. Once it gets to the length that I want, I can pick up the needle, pass it through the loop, then secure the end of this button loop near to its beginning. I pass the thread along to where I want my next loop to be, and I repeat as needed. Here are my finished beaded buttons and loops. And that completes my gown. I'm so happy with it. There are blue flowers in the sheer over layer that tie in with the blue underlayer, the beads and the waistband, and the peachy pinks and ivory lace are so light and pretty together. I have styled Lady Panacea with some butterflies in her hair, and I made her a simple clip-in bow using the same sheer fabric too. Please let me know what you think of this dress in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!